National Court. Who's on it? Chris, you on this? Run the way.
The House has resumed. Members, the House is considering the first reading of the National War Memorial Park Pukeahu Empowering Bill. Is some member seeking the call?
Mr. Speaker.
Chris Ockenvold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise to speak in favour of the National War Memorial Park Pukeahu Empowering Bill, sponsored by Arts, Culture and Heritage Minister Chris Finlayson. It is indeed, as Honourable Nathan Guy says, a very good bill, and it has received accolades, Mr. Speaker, from pretty much all sides of the House. There was...
Charles Chevelle supports it.
No. I don't remember Mr. Chevelle hearing all of the debate, but he will... he will... God gives some people a good voice. He will remember the remarks made by the Honourable Annette King, which were praiseworthy indeed, of the concept, the design, the proposal, and the need, in fact, to have a place of reverence in our capital city, because really we don't have one at the moment. This empowering bill grants the necessary statutory authorisations and property rights to the project to the New Zealand Transport Agency and the Ministry for Culture and Heritage to complete the roading and landscaping, Mr. Speaker, in time for the 2015 Anzac Day commemorations. 100 years. The bill is vital to the creation of a National War Memorial Park for Wellington, providing the certainty necessary for its completion by April 2015, while ensuring the integration of the park and roading networks within the wider Wellington city. If I may, Mr. Speaker, without any undue offence, suggest that Mr. Hughes from the Green Party was just a little mean-spirited, I thought, in concentrating on the sacrosanct nature of process. I think this is an occasion when process can be fitted in to meet the requirement, and I'm sure that will be the case. New Zealanders, it was a little sanctimonious, I guess. New Zealanders attach a special importance to our military history, as well as our environmental processes, and the reverence we continue to have those who made the ultimate sacrifice in the defence of this nation and what it stands for. Indeed, in October, I hope to be in Passchendaele, Mr. Speaker, paying a due reverence to great uncles who went in that particular dreadful battle where New Zealand lost so many. And so it will be a moment of reflection, and I think it will be great that we have the same opportunity for New Zealanders and for people from overseas to engage in reverence in New Zealand. It will be a fitting place for Kiwis and others to congregate on major occasions or to reflect at any time on these great sacrifices. The project will ensure that Anzac Day commemorations in 2015 will take place in a new open space flanked on either side by landscaped areas with trees, seating, cycleways and walking paths. It is indeed appropriate, such a befitting and historic moment in the history of both our nation and that of our allies across the Tasman Sea. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the Australian government has contributed Australian dollars 5 million of their own for the development of an Australian memorial, which will stand with pride opposite the National War Memorial as a symbol of the bond and shared history between our two nations. That is the Anzac spirit. This memorial plan has been crafted with great care and respect, and it was again just a tad unfortunate when listening to the Honourable Annette King, who I have great respect for as a long-serving politician, just a little sting in the tail that perhaps we'd been dilatory over the last 4 years in getting things done. May I suggest, with great respect to Annette King, who did leave government with a plan, that plan was not simply dispensed with and ignored, it was considered, and there is a lot of difference between being a little casual in getting on with things and working extremely hard to ensure the best results. And that's what Mr Finlayson demanded from the team that have been working on this. The memorial plan has been crafted with great care and respect, but a number of problems presently hinder the completion of this project by April 2015. And these are practical physical problems. The busy State Highway 1, currently in the way of the site, clearly incompatible with a memorial status as a place of quiet contemplation and reflection for families, dignitaries and visitors. You can't have it quiet except for the cars. It's either quiet or it's not. Also, under existing statutory processes, it would be impossible to guarantee the necessary statutory authorisations, rights and consents to see this project completed on time. Hence my mild criticism of the Greens. The whole purpose of this is to make sure it is done on time. As my colleagues on this side have articulated, it's time to resolve these problems once and for all. Under this bill, the Governor-General will be able to grant additional statutory authorisations by ordering Council and enable the relevant agencies to obtain additional property rights in the event that any unforeseen authorisation and rights are legally required in order to complete the project on time and to avoid, remedy or mitigate any actual or potential adverse effects on the environment. We are not ignoring the environment. The bill also, indeed, I think Annette King, whose speech I quite enjoyed, and I'm showing I'm listening, I think she illustrated that you'd have a tunnel underneath, a fly over the cricket, and then straight into the tunnel. Hobbiton. The bill also sets the conditions that will apply to the statutory authorisations and provides a process for the independent certification of plans and documents required by conditions of the authorisations. This is to ensure, Mr Speaker, that the New Zealand Transport Agency and the Minister for Culture and Heritage both comply with the usual construction requirements and environmental standards that they would have had to meet if the authorisations had been granted under normal process. The provisions relating to orders in Council and the removal of appeal and objection rights will expire at the close of the 31st July 2015. To put it simply, Mr Speaker, without this bill, the development of this site and its monuments would not be possible on a timetable basis in the foreseeable future. This is a roll-your-sleeves-up, grunty little bill that gets the job done. Underneath that, Mr Speaker, or overarching that, it will produce not only something that's practical and well done, but it will produce something that is beautiful, that we can all celebrate in and that we can all enjoy. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Charles Chauvel, is this a split call?
It is, sir. Thank you.